It's Wednesday, November 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. I came out to the West End Gun Club to do a quick range trip so I could get a few more rounds into the 6.5 Creedmoor Savage that I put together before the weekend, because I don't know how bad the weekend is going to be as far as the range is concerned. And Friday I thought about shooting on Black Friday, so to speak, but I might go shopping. I don't do the Black Friday stuff. I stopped doing that long ago, like 12, maybe 15 years ago. I stopped doing Black Friday. So there is a deal at Bass Pro Shop in SoCal for a Remington 780L with a scope. It's probably some generic scope, but it's a youth model or whatever scope combo that you can get for $429. It's $479 and it's on sale for $429. They have some kind of rebate where I think you have to sign up for the credit card, but yesterday I found a Remington mail-in rebate, so that's $50. So theoretically you can get it for $379 with a mail-in before tax and dross. And I was trying to do the numbers in my head, and I think it's possible, as after it's all said and done, you can strip all the parts off of that action, off the receiver or whatnot, and then sell the barrel, the scope, and possibly the stock, and get the receiver for about $300 net after it's all said and done. So a receiver with the bolt, a Remington 700 receiver and bolt for $300 seems like a pretty good deal. So I'm still debating that, if it's worth my time to go out to Bass Pro on Friday. So we'll see. Anyway, surprisingly, there's no one here. In the past several weeks, the weekdays have actually been kind of fairly, I don't want to say busy, but there's more people out here than I would usually expect on a weekday morning. So we'll see how it goes today, if I can get my rounds and then get out of here and go to work. So today I'm going to start off shooting the 130 grain prime 6.5mm Creedmoor ammo. We'll see how the groups go. Series 40, starting up the lab radar. I had high hopes for this ammo. We'll see if it was just me and the bipod, or if I can shoot better from a rest. So I just looked through the spotting scope, and those first 10 rounds I shot 2 different 5-round groups, and they're both really bad with the 130 grain prime ammo. The first group is slightly decent as far as windage, but the elevation dispersion is bad. And the second group, the windage dispersion is really bad, at least 2 minutes. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So the groups don't look as bad up close than they do as on through the scope, but they're still fairly bad as far as accuracy is concerned. They're well over a minute of angle. This showed some potential. I knew I threw this one, so this is probably the group here. This is where it wants to settle, but I'm getting this left to right. So I'm not sure if this is me or the ammo or the gun. But I've tried different ways of shooting this gun from the bench. I'm not sure if it's a lot of shooter error or not. So I'm gonna shoot a few groups of the Hornady before I leave to make sure the gun is still shooting the Hornady okay. 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna start a new series. We're gonna shoot a couple of groups of the Hornady before I go. If the Hornady shoots good, then we know the prime ammo is not good in this gun. If the Hornady shoots bad, then we know that it's not the ammo, it's either the rifle or me. So series 42 with the Hornady ammo. First round is 27-14. First round is 27-14 feet per second. So the Hornady groups weren't as good as they were last time I was out here, but they're better than the Prime. And I think I figured out a way to mitigate the rifle's behavior on recoil, so it should shrink the groups up more off the bench, at least the way I shoot. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot another group with Prime ammo, since I got 5 rounds left, or 10 rounds left of Prime, and we'll see how it goes before I take off. But I think with the way these benches are designed, you're kind of shooting with the rifle to your side as opposed to getting behind the gun. And so when you do that, as opposed to shooting prone, the rifle recoils, doesn't recoil straight back if you're not doing it properly as far as shouldering up the gun. So I'm trying to sit more behind the gun on the benches, but these aren't ideal as far as the way the seats work, because they're fixed seats. And it is what it is. But as far as the Hornady is concerned, I've got this is where it wants to sit, kind of center line, and this up and down dispersion, I know it's the way the bag's riding, so I can control that. This is another group. It's about a half minute. This is actually 2 groups after I made an adjustment. But this is where the last 5 rounds were. So I know this is where the gun wants to sit. I mean, the windage dispersion I can control. And so I think the Hornady is fairly decent as far as the groups are concerned. I've been meaning to answer some questions that people have been sending to me via email and this direct message. One of them is, it's a general question of why haven't I reviewed, or can I review X or Y product? And I do reviews fairly frequently, or fairly regularly rather, but it's always for stuff that I bought on my own. I don't get free crap. There are specific occasions where I have received something for free, but they were prototypes, and I haven't talked about them because while I haven't signed an NDA, technically I shouldn't discuss these products as they haven't been released to the public yet. But in general, I don't get free stuff from manufacturers and whatnot. And on occasion, some people have contacted me, asked me to review a product for them if they'll send me something. And frankly, I've kind of declined those right now. And the reason being is because I don't want to be held to sort of obligated to give a good review. And so whenever I review something and I bought it, I feel like I have full right to speak good about it or to trash it because I spent my money on it. So that's where I stand on why I haven't reviewed like X or Y product when somebody asks me that question. Is pretty much because I haven't bought it. I wish I was in a position where I could probably start doing that kind of thing, where somebody will send me, like manufacturers will send me a lot of products to review, but that's not the situation I'm in. And even if I were in that situation, I'm not sure if I could do that or not, because of the just sort of that ethical or that type of issue where I might feel obligated to give a good review. So another question I was asked is whether or not I can discuss my reloading methods. And that's something I kind of want to do, but it would be easier for me to do in articles rather than video. Unfortunately, my garage setup is so bad that it's hard for me to record video of me reloading because of the way stuff is laid out. My single stage press is in this DIY portable mount. I use the RCBS rock chucker. And so it's actually portable, so I could theoretically just move it around and actually find a spot in the garage or in the house where I can actually demonstrate some reloading techniques. So maybe that'll be feasible. But we'll see what I can do as far as more reloading topics, since I reload often. Well, I used to reload heavily when I was competing in service rifles, so I can probably discuss, especially relevant for a lot of AR shooters who do a lot of who are focused on specific ammo types. So this is the prime ammo group I just shot, and this is another prime ammo group. And so this was after the Hornady ammo was shot, so this is kind of a dirty bore. But this is like a fresher group, and this is promising, but again, this is kind of wild. The Hornady shoots a lot better than the prime as far as all these wild dispersions, but I know the Hornady wants to keep it close to center of where I hold. So I've pretty much left the range, going to run home, ditch my gear, and then head to the office. So disappointed in the prime ammo. Granted, my Hornady groups today weren't as good as I would have hoped them to be compared to last week, but they're still tighter, and I know where I threw some shots, so I know where the group is trying to center. So I know the Hornady 140 grain ELD match is going to shoot half decently out of this rifle. Now the question is, why does the prime behave so erratically? I don't know. I'm guessing that this gun just doesn't want to shoot the 130 grain bullet that prime uses. So given that I've got 200 rounds of the prime ammo, I'm just going to have to deal with it and probably just use it for whatever as far as practicing. But the brass should be good, and I'm going to order some bullets so I can reload. I'm looking probably to try Berger's 130 grain AR match, AR tactical rather, and the Berger 140 grain hybrids most likely, and then I'm probably going to get my hands on the Hornady ELD 140 grain match bullets, as well as the new 147, I think 147 and 148 grain ELD match. So I need to get some bullets so I can start reloading for this gun, given that I have brass that I reclaimed from the factory ammo. So I guess this morning wasn't a wash, just disappointed. I'm just a little disappointed in the prime ammo. So that being said, that's it for today. November 23rd, Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving. So for everyone out there, have a happy Thanksgiving, and a special Thanksgiving greeting to all military deployed, especially, and your families. If you can't be together on Thanksgiving, just hopefully you guys can enjoy what the happiness and joy that you are bringing to the rest of this country in the service, and the sacrifice that you make as far as time and separation from one another. So happy Thanksgiving everyone, and until then, see you with the next vlog.